And just like that, the weekend is almost over. It's almost Monday, baby. We're ready for another week of day trading. We're going to take a look at the charts and break down some key levels and support, resistance, all that fun stuff to get a better idea of what we should be expecting this upcoming week in the markets. Day trading right here in this video, so make sure you guys stay tuned.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and today it's Sunday. We're getting ready for another week in the markets. Had a really good week last week, 5 days of consistent green, day trading live on YouTube, and now we can look and see kind of what's going on with the charts and get a better idea of where that support, where that resistance might be lying at. Right now, pulling up the hourly chart here on the NASDAQ. You can see on Friday, a nice little rally there end of day, from the 320s all the way up there to 580s. What's really interesting, I haven't talked about this yet, but what's really interesting is there was a massive amount of liquidity being held at this 500 level basically like all day on Friday. It was just sitting there on the book. And I kept seeing it on the book map, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like maybe we're going to push to 500. That's going to be resistance. But for some reason, that 500 seller was just sitting there all day long on the queues, and he just kept sitting there. And then finally, you can see the market just moved up, took all that liquidity, and just kept going. So very interesting to kind of see what's going on with the liquidity and to see the book and be like, wow, you know, there's that big, massive seller. I mean, even when we were down here at the 320s, there was that big just block of liquidity sitting right there at the 500 level. So very interesting to see how the market kind of moves based on where that liquidity is. You know, the idea that like, okay, there's all that liquidity there at the 500 level, and then the market starts to move up to it. You're like, oh, is it gonna get stuck there? Is that gonna be resistance? But you can see we went right through that resistance and pushed up there to the 580 area. So kind of interesting to see how the market closed above that level of liquidity. Something to think about in the future. When I see that in the future, I might be a little bit more like, huh. So we're looking here at the NASDAQ right now, and let's try to find some areas of support, resistance. I'm going to keep this 500 level just on the chart there because I think it might play into some moves tomorrow in terms of support. Seeing that we had that huge block of liquidity getting sold through there, people bought, and pushed through there. So I'm just going to leave that on the chart. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put these lines on the chart so that way I have these lines throughout the week. Like even if we don't get a move, you know, on Monday, Tuesday down to this 300 level or that 13,000 level, well, we have it identified. That way, you know, later on the week, if we do get a move down there, we're like, hey, there's support there. We already know that's there. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of go through all these levels. We've got this level here at the 12,800. We got this level there at the 13,000. I would say we even have this level here at that 13,300 as well. So let's just go ahead and just draw all these lines out there. We want them to go kind of full week status here. And we're just going to put those out there. This 500 level, we're going to put that out there as well. So right now we can see clearly support, resistance, what's going on there. We've got these key levels to watch. I'm not sure we're going to get all the way down here, but let's just go ahead and map it. And that way we know in the future, if we do pull back, well, there's some support there at these levels. So pretty clear to see right now kind of where that support resistance is. I'd say there maybe there's a little bit of support there at that 12,900 level there as well. But in general, we're just kind of looking for multiple areas where that market has bounced at. We've also kind of got this here, that 13,147. But we'll kind of keep that in mind. But I want to see like where that market has been bouncing and where it's been pushing at double time. But let's just go ahead and put that line there just so we have it. These are key levels that we're watching here on the NASDAQ now. All right, so we got those key levels. I'd say there's a little bit of support here, 13,400 as well, just so that we have that in mind as well there, 13,400. So we got some pretty good levels. So let's figure out where we are in terms of resistance to the upside. So we got to go to the bigger picture here, or we can just really kind of zoom out here on the hourly chart and try to find that next big resistance. As we draw all these lines on the chart, I'm not trying to predict where the market's going to go. I really don't care either way. What I do care about is volatility and setups. We've talked about the different EMA setups here on the channel the last few weeks, what our focus is, and right now the big focus is making sure if I'm going to be entering a trade, is there a good setup? What is the setup, Patrick? Ask yourself the setup. What is the setup? Is there a setup? Am I entering just because I have FOMO? Am I entering just because I'm revenge trading? Am I entering for no real reason other than just wanting to make profit? Like, I need to really just focus on, Patrick, is there a setup? Is it good? Is it got everything lining up? Is this the one? Should I be adding? Should I be taking away? Should I be taking profit quickly? Is the market showing strength? Are we trending higher? What is going on? What's the bigger picture? Always focusing on the bigger picture. Even though we're scalping and we're trying to make, money quickly, we still need to understand what is that bigger picture. Because when you're scalping with the trend, if you're on trend, if you're following the trend and you're scalping those moves to the upside or to the downside based on the trend, it's much easier to make profits. It's much easier to make money when you're following the trend. And that's exactly what we're going to do this week. And that's why we're doing this right now. We're going through, we're finding the key areas that we need to focus on, and then we're going to focus on that. We got it all ready on the chart. We're ready to go here on Monday. So if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, like button, you know what to do. At that area of resistance back in May of 2022, the high on those candles being that 13,555, 13,548. And yeah, pretty much like right there, like 83 level on the high on those candles. So we'll go ahead and just put this line there at the 13,580. That's kind of right where we stopped at on Friday. After that level, I mean, there's not much going on. 14,300 level being the next resistance to the upside. So we got a pretty good move over this up to that 14,300 level. And then after that, obviously 15,200. So actually a lot of push to the upside, a lot of room to run to the upside here, I would say. Looking very interesting, kind of looking like a cup and handle as well for this formation. If we get a push up to this level, we kind of push up, we then roll off and then break through that level there. We'll see kind of the same almost setup here as well if we pull back and then get that break to the upside here. Overall, on the daily chart, we've got the MACD looking bullish right now as well. We had a cross back there in the kind of June 23rd, get a cross on the MACD, and ever since then we've been pushing up right there on the high of that daily candle. We'll just go ahead and mark that just so we know it's there, and the high being that 781. So let's pull this down just a little bit, be like right there, to basically give us an idea if we do push up there, where that next resistance is. So we push up above this resistance on Monday. That next big resistance is going to be 13,800 level. And then after that, I'd say 14,000 and then 14,260. So pretty clear to see what's going on. We're obviously trending higher right now. We're trying to push up. So that's bullish. The market's been trying to push up. Overall, on the daily chart, we're kind of getting to the point where it could get very interesting because I'm thinking, if we get stuck here, there's a good chance we start to pull back here and start to move down. We've got the 20 EMA. We got all that stuff going on down there. So this will be interesting. I will say here right now, the 8 EMA is crossing on the 13 EMA. I will say that the 8 EMA is crossing there on the 13 EMA right now. So this could be kind of interesting to see what happens here. But that's the key levels to focus on the NASDAQ right now. If we look at the SPY, and then if we're pulling up the ES here, we're also running into key resistance right now at that 4,300 level. On the ES right now. On Friday, the ES squeezing up there to that almost 4,300 area right there, almost to on Friday. And then after that resistance, we've got that 4,500 area on the ES. In terms of support, what do we got going on? Let's look for some support below this level. I would say pretty clear to see that 4,200 area being support here. We'll go ahead and just kind of map that out there. We know that 4,200 area is going to be support after we pushed above that. And then after 4,200, we've got that 4,120 level down here. So a lot of support on the ES and on the NASDAQ to the downside, and really like not a ton of resistance to the upside here. So we'll see what happens. There is kind of, I'd say there's a little bit of like a gap here after those numbers came out there last week or this week or whenever those numbers came out and got that insane squeeze there. I think that was after the Fed came out with their rates, or I think it was after the Fed came out there. But either way, you can see what's going on here with the ES right now. We've got that support there at the 4,200 and that 4,300 area coming up next here for the market. The focus here is not to try to predict which way the market's going to go. I really don't care if the market goes up, if it goes down, which way it goes. All I care about is very simply if it moves. I want to see the market moving either up, either down. I can make money both ways. I just need a move. I need an actual move. I need, a continuation. I need volatility. I need momentum. I need volume. So that's going to be the big focus this week. Looking for volume, looking for momentum, looking for action, and we want to obviously be on the right side of that action. So that'll be the big focus this week, just really trying to capitalize off of good quality setups. We've talked about some really good strategies here recently. We've got it all mapped out. We've got the plan. We know exactly what we need to do, and we'll be ready to do it here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on the channel live. So if you guys haven't already hit that subscribe button, you know what to do. I will talk to you guys later on.